Hello, and welcome to the Leaders in Supply Chain and Logistics podcast. I'm your host, Fei Yu, and I'm the Managing Director for Alcott Global. Our mission is to connect the supply chain ecosystem globally by bringing forward some of the most interesting leaders in the industry.
Today, we're joined by Eduardo Bachiega, the Chief Supply Chain Officer and Executive Board Member at Nomad Foods. With over 20 years of experience in leading end-to-end supply chain operations across the FMCG and life sciences industries, Eduardo is passionate about delivering better food to the world. At Nomad Foods, he oversees the manufacturing, logistic operations, planning, and procurement for a business that generates 3 billion revenue and serve over 500 million consumers across 18 factories in 22 markets. Eduardo has a proven track record of driving supply chain transformation, business turnarounds, and digital innovation across multiple regions. He has successfully managed complex supply chain in highly regulated business and led the integration of M&A operations while also leading global cross-functional teams. Beyond his role, Eduardo is an active advisory board member and mentor, sharing his expertise to help entrepreneurs thrive in the supply chain field. In today's conversation, we'll dive into his journey, the challenges he's faced, and the insight he has gained leading one of the biggest frozen food companies in the world. Let's start it. Eduardo, great to have you here with us.
Yeah. Hi, Faye. Thank you for having me here. It's a privilege. Let's have fun together.
Yeah, sure. So I think that Nomad Food is a company I just got to know recently, but I've known the brand, especially in Switzerland, we know Findus. And also in supermarket, also know Bird Eye. And Igloo is also very famous. And so Nomad Food, what's the story of Nomad Food? Could you share a bit about the company? How did it all begin? What is the current focus? And where do you see it heading in the future?
No, for sure. As you said, we are a home of a very famous brand. So Nomad is a young company. We are this year celebrating our 10th anniversary only. And we started 10 years ago with a very simple vision from our founders. So they believed that we could serve the world with a better food. Better food is good food, tasty and affordable. And the frozen food category plays a tick on all those boxes. And 10 years ago, we started integrating those famous brands and giving them love and investing behind them. So we started with Bird's Eye, Igloo, and Findus. And after that, we integrated Goodfellas and Bessie. And more recently, in the Adriatic region and Croatia and Serbia, we have Ledo and Frikom. So today, we cover a portfolio that goes from our delicious fresh peas in the UK all the way to ice creams in Croatia, going through pizza, fish fingers, and chicken nuggets and this type of products that are in everyday meals. So the story of us is about integrating business, but also about the growth. We start with a business of about a little bit more than 1 billion euros, and today we are close to a little bit more than 3. So we grew a lot in the last few years. And as you can imagine, the companies that grow that fast, we have a lot of work to be done in supply. Moving forward, we are going to a new step now. We believe that people is getting more conscious about what they eat everywhere, for different reasons, for health aspects, but also for cost of living aspects. And we believe that we have a role to play into the industry. So we are bringing even stronger innovation pipeline to fulfill the demand of our growing base of consumers across the markets where we are. So it's quite exciting environment, to be honest, with a good combination of a fast-paced industry with a good heritage of brands.
So when you take your son to the supermarket, right, you see your products and you feel responsible to deliver the best product on shelf.
So my son is probably one of our fierce consumers. He gives me always feedback and say, I want more of this, I want less of that. And then he always tells his friends that I work in the fish fingers factory. So
that's amazing. Now you're running a huge supply chain, right? So the one of the largest one in frozen food. What do you find most rewarding about your role? Are there any moment or achievement you like to share that you're most proud of?
Yeah. So this is, I think supply chain is all about people. We talk about technology, we talk about process. We all that work in supply chain, we love processes. There are a lot of us engineers, but what really makes the difference is the people. And what I believe is one of the moments of pride, not only for me but for our team, is this possibility that we have, and I have to be in contact with several teams and hundreds of teams across our operations, and the possibility to take the best and to do the best work as a team. I'm particularly proud of the work that we've been doing in the last few years in Nomad, building this one supply chain and this integrated supply chain leadership team. As I said, we come from different companies, different backgrounds, and it seems simple, but bringing everybody under the same umbrella, share the same values and share the same ways of working. It's a challenge, and the supply chain leadership team, the team that we are building here, is making a phenomenal results. And when we have a good team, the hard results, the financial results are a consequence of it. So we are very proud of the work that we are doing, building culture, and then as a consequence, the results come.
I heard a lot about this, saying that acquisition is easy, integration is harder. So it's a nightmare. How did you do that to bring everyone together, right, in under one Nomad Food?
Yeah, I think I never heard this one, but I fully agree. I think that the way we approach it is a combination. Is not science, is an art. Every time we acquire a business, we are humble enough to say we're going to learn a few things. So, for example, when we acquired recently the Adriatics business and the Fortenova business, that's ice cream. So the ice cream business is extremely innovative. We replace our portfolio about 50-60% every year, and we are operating to markets that are not that fast today. So we are learning from the Adriatics how to be more agile and how to innovate fast. On the other side, we also bring some expertise to the team. So finding the balance of where we're going to learn and where we're going to teach or share learning is the constant work of all of us in the management team. And there is no one size fits all if we wanted to really get the best of those acquisitions. And it's like building a family. It grows.
Yeah, that's an art, right? To how to balance that, the family and then give people still innovation freedom, right? Action freedom. Okay. Great one. And so we also know that dealing with frozen food is super difficult. It's highly regulated, and you are in the most complex market, that's in EMEA. So being a supply chain leader, managing this super challenging agenda, share with us your toughest challenges and how did you tackle them?
I think, first of all, our challenge comes from the different supply chains that we operate. So you can imagine that the supply chain of ice creams is very different than the supply chain of fish, for example, or the agricultural supply chain. We plant, harvest, and process almost everything that we sell. So but we have multiple supply chains inside of our company. But the challenges that we face are not different than the many other companies. I think what I say is that the new normal post-COVID is pretty much like the old normal. So we have a lot of companies that are willing to grow, but we want to grow. And on the other side, we have consumers still feeling that the cost of living crisis and with a lot of pressure to consume more. So, and I would say the cherry on the cake is the global geopolitical instability. So it's the same challenge that many other companies are facing. The way we approach it is to try to be a combination of three things. We try to be innovative, we try to be cost efficient and resilient. It's basic playbook of supply chain. Our secret sauce is probably we recognize that we're not going to get those three things together all the time. So we try to get to this very complex world where we live and try to simplify it at the most, so be able to execute things fast. Knowing that this balance is a consequence of we moving fast enough, and sometimes we're going to be more innovative, but not that resilient. Then later on, we build the resilience, but not that cost efficient, and then we keep moving fast. So I think the agility that we built into our supply chain allow us to be constantly moving between those three aspects: innovation, cost efficiency, and resilience. But I need to recognize this as everybody that's working supply chain. It's not an easy moment to be, and it's the challenges are there. But we are doing great, I would say.
To juggle that you need to be a master of juggling. So, but then always adapt your priority. That's exactly. Never boring.
We try to keep all the balls in the air. Let's put it this way.
Yeah. Now you actually have one more challenge that you need to add into the priority, which is sustainability. Right? It's getting more and more important, and you need to actually put into the equation and still keep efficiency, agility, and cost effective. How do you manage this balance in your operation?
So that's is a good one, because our approach on sustainability is that we incorporate sustainability on the way we do things. So we don't treat sustainability as another ball to be keeping in the air. So we incorporate this into the way we do the work. And I think that this comes from the DNA of the company. We were one of the founding partners of one of the associations that regulate the sustainability in the oceans, called MSC, for example. And more recently, we are very proud part of the Dow Jones Sustainability Index. So we are scoring on the top 6% of the most sustainable companies in Europe. So I think the sustainability is part of the DNA. The approach we do, we look to the operations and we try to combine the sustainability agenda with other benefits. So, for example, we are leading a global industry effort to reset the temperatures on the freezers. We tested over the last 2 years that we can keep the product safe if we increase the temperature in the freezers instead of minus 18 to minus 15. And it's interesting because the minus 18 was created 100 years ago when the frozen food was created, and there was very little science behind at the moment, and we have 100 years of industry development behind now. And this is a great example. So if we reset globally the temperature of all the frozen chain, the amount of energy that we can save is enormous. And on the other side, it's good for the environment, it's good for the consumer, and make us more efficient. So these type of initiatives are the ones that we drive in sustainability, trying to combine the sustainability agenda with other benefits for the consumers, for efficiency, so forth, so on.
That's good learning for me. I didn't know that it's a minus 15 degree that
Yeah.
works. Is that for all foods, all frozen foods, or it's
So we are leading this work with DPA and other companies across the world that's testing different products, and our portfolio is proven, and now we are engaging other companies and the retailers and other players, the logistics players around the world, to be honest.
Yeah, so innovation can be in many ways, right? So sustainability also help you drive innovation.
Yeah.
Awesome, great story.
Yeah.
Now you've been in the field for how many years? More than 20,
Yeah.
right? So looking back, right? Is
Yeah.
there, you consider like a veteran, so you can look back. Is there a particular decision or strategy that has had a big positive impact on Nomad Food supply chain? What lessons did you take from that experience? Now that you're 5 years in your role as a yeah.
So yeah, I'm here a little bit, almost 4 years now, and I think the number one lessons, I don't underestimate the power of a leadership alignment. So we all work in supply chain, we all have this view. It's of those trade-offs. So say this team will be focusing cost, that team is focused on service, and that team is focused on inventory, and then someone is going to find the balance between those three things. And one of the things that I think the decision that we took together as a leadership team is that, well, as a leadership team, we will balance those three things in the short term, and we will make sure that our teams are focused on executing whatever the direction we set. That was quite simple in concept, but a very, very important change, because we needed to rewire the way we've been operating for several years into this constant understanding that the priorities can change during the year, during the month, that sometimes we will focus on services, sometimes we're going to focus on inventory management, or sometimes we will focus on cost. But once we built this alignment, we start unlocking a lot. This came, of course, under something very simple that we say, well, whatever we do on those hard measures of cost, service, and cash, it doesn't really matter if we are not taking care of the fundamentals. That's cost, that's safety, quality, sustainability, and the people engagement. So we created this very simple dynamic around our leadership team to say we are guaranteed that the fundamentals are right, and we have the golden triangle, cost, service, and cash, being trade-off, and the execution start happening in a much better way, and the overall results becomes way more rounded. I think that this was one of the key things that we did in Nomad that really changed the game, not only for us, but for the business.
So the leadership alignment. Do you think it helps for your role to sit on an executive board?
I think it's fundamental, to be honest. I believe that supply chain needs to partner with the rest of the business to drive the agenda, and I cannot see you partnering if you're not sitting on the same table. So I think we in Nomad, have a very small but robust leadership team, and I work hand to hand with my colleagues in marketing, the commercial organization, finance, and HR, and together we drive the business. So I couldn't see we doing different, at least not in Nomad, to be honest.
Yes, that's a great example. I think that many chief supply chain officers, we see a lot, right, that they move to the executive board, but it's still a minority. Yeah. So we in the future we'll see more and more chief supply chain officers sitting on the board, so they can take Nomad Food as a good example.
Yeah, I believe that is a natural path, and I think the good part is of COVID. If COVID brought something good for us, is that it showed the importance of having a well-managed supply chain to guarantee the business resiliency over the time. So I think it's a natural step.
Now, so leading supply chain that you're growing, you're acquiring, right? So you in the team you must need quite a lot of talent. And then in the topic of talent, I see that you are now alerted. So it sounds like talent's a big topic, and talent shortage are a challenge in many companies, many industries, in supply chain especially. In your team, how do you attract, retain, and develop top talents?
This is probably a topic I'm very, very passionate about. Fei. I think as a supply chain professional, this is probably our number one long-term challenge. Attract talent. The years are passing, but many, many years ago, people coming out of university was very excited about the opportunity to work in a big corporation and start working in a factory and growing through different experiences. And I feel that I would say more recent generations have other life goals. It's not even career goals. So how we will attract people in the long term to work in supply chain? For me, it's a combination. We needed to continue looking for aspects that balance work-life, but also change the way we do the work in supply chain and make it more sexy, more appealing for the young generation. What we are trying to do in Nomad, and I say trying because I think it's a constant exercise. As I said, we come from a background of a lot of different companies. So we are creating a unified career path. So we are showing people that regardless where you are, regardless the experience that you have a path and you can progress. What for a company on our size is quite unique. So it's difficult to build, but once you build those paths, you see the talent. The other piece is we are investing a lot on leadership training and leadership development. So we believe that we needed to invest in the people so they can grow with us. And our nature of business of being acquisitive creates opportunity for people to grow. So it's a combination of investment, growth opportunities, and career path. But honestly, I don't think that this is enough. It's an area that probably we will need to do way more than we're doing today. Not only in Nomad, but in the whole industry. I think we need to carry this flag on how we make supply chain the sexy work, the work that everybody wants to have in the future.
Yeah, there's several things, right? We talk with quite a lot of a supply chain executive. I think young people especially, they want to see their work impactful to the world. So when we talk about supply chain, we talk about also innovation, and it's connected to innovation, like you mentioned, and also sustainability. So these two topics would actually attract them a lot. And we don't tell the story enough. So we need to actually make it louder for the young talent. And also like your story about giving them opportunities to work cross functions. You're not stuck in supply chain. I mean, stuck, but then you can actually have other opportunities to look broader. And if you want to come back, you come back, right? So yeah, that's also, I agree with you, it's a topic we are working for so many companies and is the priority. I believe that chief supply chain officers spend more than half their time attracting talent. So what are the skills you're looking for that you believe critical for the future of your supply chain?
So I think that what we are looking and is people with an entrepreneurial spirit that help us to build this supply chain and to build these new ways of working that we've been developing over the last few years. So this is probably the number one. We like people that has this drive and this attitude. And the other, combined with this curiosity and humbleness now, because we look for people that is willing to learn, because being very humble, I think none of us has all the answers. We are learning everything, a lot of things every day. So the whole challenge that we have in the world that we talked a little bit earlier, but also the new technologies are here. So this curiosity and finding new ways of working comes together. The last one is something a little bit a cliche, but it's very easy inside the supply chain for us to be very focused in supply, but business acumen and understanding how the business works, understanding the consumer, understanding the product, and how we can serve the consumers better is quite important. So if those three things, I think, makes the difference: being entrepreneur, curious, and business acumen.
I have two questions for you. So about those who just joined, right? Join Nomad, and those who stay longer than yourself, right? If you would be asking people who joined your team recently, what are the questions? What are the reasons they join?
Oh, that's you should ask them. You know a couple of them, right? So I think people, the ones that joined and the ones that are staying, that are here for longer, for the same reason, is the possibility of creating impact. So we in Nomad, we are, as I said, we try to be very fast and very agile, and here is a place where the individuals can make a huge impact, a positive one. If you have the ambition and the drive, you can really create a positive impact. So people join us with this possibility to create an impact, and people is here for many years because they created impact over the years and they create a legacy. So it is a combination. It's the same reason, I would say.
Yeah. So
you should ask them next time you talk to them.
Interesting. Yeah, I will. I'll be very curious to know. So. But yeah, no need to ask the second question. It's the two questions are actually the same question now.
Yeah.
Now, reflecting on your career, what advice would you give to aspiring supply chain professionals who want to build a successful career in this field?
So I feel very privileged because I have a couple good mentors during my career. So I had the opportunity to work with people that was very kind and share with me a lot of knowledge. And probably one of the best advices that I received and I try to live is you should not be afraid of taking risks. So I think sometimes when we get into the corporate world, we try to play safe and then see where it goes. But actually, I would encourage people to take risks. And what I mean take risks is look for opportunities of learning, be more focused on the learning than the job titles, and take the risks to operate in places that you're probably going to learn much more than you're going to be able to teach. So different geographies, different functions, different industries. So don't play safe, and all those experiences will be rewarded in the future.
Love that, to take risks. That means that you also need to have the curiosity and courage.
Yeah.
And that go back to the critical quality that you see in the top talent.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thanks for sharing your insight. These are super helpful insight. I believe it not only for talents in other organizations, but also outside of supply chain world who want to learn about supply chain and learn about a successful career. Thank you very much for your time, Eduardo.
Thank you, Fei. Thank you. Have a good day.
It's been great fun.
Bye-bye.
Once again, this is Fei. Thanks for listening to the Leaders in Supply Chain and Logistics podcast. Enjoy the episode? Then visit outcodeglobal.com for show notes and more. Don't forget to subscribe for updates and new episodes. If you're on iTunes, Spotify, or Amazon Music, a quick 5-star review helps us a lot. Plus, share this with anyone who'd love it. Follow us on LinkedIn for exclusive content. And if you have guest or topic ideas, drop us a message. Contact us if you're looking for top executives to transform your supply chain or logistics. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time.